When you are feeling stressed, do you feel comfortable going to your manager to discuss it? Or if you're the manager, how do you respond when your employee expresses that they're stressed? Let's think about when stress does take place. It happens when the demands of a situation are not met with the proper resources, when there's not enough resources to meet those demands. So, if you do feel stressed, what could you do? Well, it is a strength to ask for help. So, asking for resources could be a step that you could take to bring down that stress level. And if you are the manager, thinking through with your team member how you could help bring on new resources, whether it be an additional team member or more budget to bring on outside help, or perhaps offering more time in the timeline to get the project done, that could help bring in the proper resources to reduce the stress. Another exercise that you might offer to do is with your team that's feeling that stress, have them list all the things that are creating that stress. Create two different buckets for those things that they can control and those things that are out of their control. Things such as the stock market, um, things, housing starts, things in the macroeconomy perhaps they can't control that are causing stress to the business, and then things that they can control. And for those things that they can control, take just one of them and write down micro steps, the mini steps that they can take to reduce that stress. And then once they are able to take that first step, that can rewire their brain to switch the mindset to be more positive and not have one of stress. And during times that maybe are a little bit more calm, there's also a couple of other exercises I would recommend that you might do with your team. One and both of these are to help the attitude towards stress. And one of them is to have your team think through the top 3 times or periods of their career when they felt the most successful, when they thought they've achieved the most. And inevitably, there's probably stress involved. So see how you can funnel and channel stress to your advantage. Another thing that you might want to do is read the biography of someone you really admire and think through how they've been so successful, and also think through the amount of stress that they had in achieving those great successes that perhaps is why you admire them so much. So again, your attitude towards stress and perhaps having a positive attitude towards stress as an energizer can help in dealing and handling stress. If you're feeling stressed, I encourage you to open up and share with your manager. And if you're the manager, to really listen, because acknowledging stress is so important in the first step to combating stress. And then don't be afraid to ask for help. Asking for help in times of stress is a sign of strength. And then be sure to allow time for rest and recovery. And finally, I encourage you to take one step at a time. Thanks.